Hi, welcome back to Being Your Higher Self. I'm Devo, and thank you for being here again with me. Today, I wanted to talk about the law of attraction and why it is so important to understand understand it and learn how it works so you can leverage it in your advantage. Now, the law of attraction, its name pretty much explains it all. But the law of attraction pretty much states that everything that we think creates our beliefs, and what we believe transforms themselves into our feelings, and our feelings push our actions, and our actions translate into our reality, in which we see a reflection, and then again this whole cycle gets fed. Like, again, we have a thought, like we see a reflection, and then it creates a thought, and then this thought creates a belief, and this belief creates our feelings, and based on these feelings we rush into action, and this action again sees itself reflected on our outer external reality. Well, the problem isn't really that it works like as it works. The problem is that what happens when we hold on to beliefs without even noticing, and they are actually the nocive ones, like the negative ones. We've maybe heard or even read in the internet or another blog posts many times that you have to change your thoughts. Like, if you change your way of thinking and you start thinking positively, then you will attract positive. Positive attracts positive, and negative attracts negative. This is pretty much also based on this cause and effect law. Like, if you imagine yourself standing in front of a wall and you have a red ball, when you bounce it on the wall, it will be back. Like, you will be given exact same ball that you just bounced against the wall. Well, the same goes with our thoughts, beliefs, and of course our feelings. All of them fits how we choose to act and to take some action to take place. What we don't often see is all the negativity that is laying behind it. And this is where the mirror exercise that I talked about in a couple of videos ago, it comes in. And it's so important, because when we put our focus in our thoughts, our head really knows how to create a maze where we tend to get lost in ourselves, and we don't really hit the core points to change these so-called negative thoughts and transform them really from the root into positive ones. So again, when we charge this cycle of creativity, and it pushes us into action, we are actually standing in a more positive, aligned way of thinking, believing, and feeling, instead of the other one. We don't often notice how much we are holding on to past trauma of our families, bad experiences, especially in our childhoods, when we lacked the tools to process emotions properly or frustration properly. And this ended up building up inside of us. And we don't really, not always at least, are 100% conscious about this. It's like the RAM memory of a computer. It's at the background and you don't see it, but it runs the show. The mirror exercise actually focuses not on thoughts but on feelings. And why do I make this distinction? Because feelings are this powerful energy that you cannot distort. You cannot change how you like. If you are feeling frustrated, nothing in the world will convince you to move away from that feeling of frustration, whether as you are thinking, oh yeah, I'm frustrated, but I'd rather not look at it, and then you go on to your head and just forget all about it and numb out and look for activities to do. Is because in your head you hold this belief that whatever you're feeling, especially if it's making you uncomfortable, it's or pain, either too painful to look at, or well, it's not really that important, which is a lie. Because it's making you uncomfortable in this level, then it's not nothing. It's actually something. And if you follow this feeling, the energy of the feeling, as if it were the white rabbit down the hole, imagine yourself as Alice in Wonderland and you're following the rabbit down the rabbit hole. The feeling will take you to that very moment where you first experienced it. Or if you didn't experience it for the first time, it was actually a situation that you were perceiving with the wrong glass. And so it made this scar. It's like carving, you know. Each time you went to that particular place, it started carving holes over and over and over. The idea is not to finish like cut it like some cheese with holes in it, like a cheddar cheese, or I don't know which cheese is the one that has holes. The idea is actually to heal yourself, to just realize that you don't have to live with these things inside of you anymore. And so if you release them properly, they won't be in your external reality, because you have taken them away from your being, pretty much. You will start understanding that you are not a victim of life, that every situation, even as bad as it looks, has a lesson for you. And instead of being this perfectionist of my life has to look pretty and I have to have this amount of activities and this amount of friends and my relationships have to be superb and I have to get along with my parents, even though deep down I don't, but I gotta look like I am the perfect kid, like I'm the perfect daughter or son or whatever. This is whole things that were thrown at you and you took as yours, made you feel in a certain way. And by focusing on the feelings, you can prevent yourself from going into action from this place in your mind that only wants to see the bad patterns repeated, so that it can go and say, I told you so. Like imagine you wanna start something new, like you wanna take singing classes because I don't know, you wanna participate in your church choir or sing along in the street, I don't know, like whatever gets you high. But then you start, no, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't because last time I sang, this person said I was ugly singing and maybe they are right and I shouldn't try it, well, I will try. And then you go take the first lesson and you are hideous at it. So hideous that not even the singing teacher can hide his or her excruciating pain of hearing you sing for the first time. And you see this happening, like no matter what they say, you see that look on their faces. And then you get this false belief reinforced. You were already saying that you shouldn't because, I don't know, like a zillion explanations that you gave to yourself because you were just staying in your head. And so when you went there, you went with all these ideas and you weren't trying to see if you could sing or not, or even give you the permission to learn, because like maybe you didn't do it anytime during your life. So of course you like singing, but it doesn't mean that you know how. And when you take the class, then you see everything that you were holding on to reflected back to you. And so you have a choice in this situation. You can either believe this voice that said, yeah, I told you so, you suck at this, you shouldn't have tried in the first place. Or you can say, okay, wait, this situation made me feel this way. Oh yeah, I remember feeling this exact same way when I was 12 years old and I had to sing for this school play, and of course I was a little bit nervous, and I just skipped like a tone or something, and people start laughing at me. And but you can heal that. You don't have to get caught up in that story. And even though this seems like I was rambling on, the mirror exercise and how we project is actually how the law of attraction works. The longer you hold on to this "I told you so" voice and do things from this perspective, where you repeat to yourself all these nasty things that you wouldn't even be telling your best friend. Like, come on. You somehow manage to do that to yourself. And what you think and believe and feel about you is gonna magnetize everything. You feel shitty about yourself, you're going to attract and magnetize shitty people, shitty situations, and you will keep feeding this "I am a victim, I cannot do anything, I'm worthless" pattern over and over again. Instead, you can choose differently. You can choose to see that this no longer serves you, and that you have a proper tool that it's called the mirror exercise. It's 4 simple step exercise that, repeated over and over in time, will get you to get rid of everything that doesn't belong to you. Especially because when we were being raised, our parents couldn't get their heads out of their butts, and so they passed on their fears and crap on us. Because we were too little to put a distance between it, we took it as ours, we borrowed it, never gave it back, and now it's become this voice that we got ourselves attached to, and it's not ours. That's what many people in cultures and religions call ego. Ego doesn't exist. We will talk a little bit better about that in another video. So, in the law of attraction, you can learn how to change your whole perspective and focus, and start on learning that you are a divine child of God. You were never separated, as we stated in the previous video. And then you can start healing your path to yourself. You can align with your truth, because the universe is abundant, so why shouldn't you? Get rid of your shitty patterns, shitty thinking, shitty self-appreciation, and turn it over into self-love. And by loving yourself, you will attract more love, and you will start feeling like you can take a hold on to life, and that you can learn from life instead of being a victim of it. And of course, if you change your thoughts, you change your beliefs, and then change your feelings about yourself, and you will be acting from a different, completely upside down version of yourself that is going to attract more positive into your life, because that's pretty much what you are coming from. So I hope to see you on the next video. If you want this idea to be any more clearer and condensed, you can read the blog post I made. It's just right out the oven yesterday. And well, if you're looking this like 3 years from now, it's not yesterday, but I get carried away, but sorry. So yeah, I hope to see you next video, and thank you for joining me.